At the end of March, I started working on a painting that has been on my easel off and on since that time, and it's had several iterations. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I started painting it. It started out with some large blocks of color, and over the next several months I would paint on it from time to time. And so I wanted to share with you just sort of my thought process at each stage, what I was thinking about, the techniques I was using, and hopefully it's informative to you about some of my thought processes when I am creating a painting. This is an abstract. I have only done a little bit of abstract painting in the past, but this past year I've been focusing on it a whole lot more, just as an expressive work of my feelings on any given day. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. It's kind of fun to see. I did not take pictures continually. I did not shoot video continually while I was creating this, so it kind of skips and jumps around a little bit, but I do have the images and videos in order of the process, so it's quite a difference between the beginning and the end. So enjoy. I started this painting using bold colors, lights and darks, looking at shapes, sizes, making it interesting, and then I started applying colorful swatches. This is a very familiar stroke to me. I was not taking any risks or experimenting very much at all, only having fun, playing with the colors. Using a palette knife, I just played around a little bit, I had no idea really where I was going with this. Just playing, having fun, experimenting with colors. Then I brought out a trowel and spread the wet paint, just kind of smeared it across the painting, seeing what would happen. At this stage, I was just experimenting, wiping off my tools on the board. Here I'm applying large sections of blue. I think I was trying to calm it down, tone it down, getting larger blocks of color rather than being quite so busy. I was experimenting with lines. But I don't think I was very pleased with that, so I wiped it off. That's a texture comb, but I think the paint had dried too much, so I wasn't really getting much texture at that point. So I started to apply a little bit more interest. It had become a little bit flat, monochromatic. A little blending. Time passed and I had gotten to this point. I loved that burnt orange triangle. I tried to hold on to it, but didn't last. You can see it peeking through at this stage. I did pencil marks. Then I toned it all down, applying kind of an ivory white, pale pink, pastels. Several weeks later, this was what it looked like. I was using stencil. And I like to apply masking tape to block out certain areas that I want to salvage and keep. There were parts of this that I wanted to keep and not cover up, but it was pretty dark, so I wanted to add a little bit of light pigment color to the painting. Pulled the tape off. And this is what it looked like at that point. So I was lightening up the composition at this point. Once again, saving areas that I wanted to save. At this point, it's a total experiment. You don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm continuing to try to lighten up the overall composition. Felt a little bit dark. Removed that layer of paint. This is what was left at that point. I used a brayer, actually it's a sponge roller of paint, just to, once again, I'm just playing. I didn't know where this painting wanted to go at this point in time. I was just experimenting, adding layers. Nothing was really standing out as an overall theme or purpose. It does come, but I didn't have it yet at this point in time. So I just kept adding layers of paint. It's basically a value composition at that point in time. But there, right there, that was my inspiration, that sun. I didn't know it quite then. I'm pointing it out now because I know where this goes. But it was starting to show through where I wanted to go, where this painting wanted to go. I pulled out my circular sander and started sanding back layers of paint. I was touching it to make sure it was smooth. There you see I turned the painting horizontally to work on it that direction a little bit more. Once again, sanding it, making it smooth. I blocked off some areas that I wanted to save. You can see I was holding onto that little sunshine in there. Bringing back in some jewel tones, vibrant colors. I had really toned down much of the chroma in that composition. So I'm putting suns all over it. My favorite little polka dots, just around and about. Try not to pay too much attention to the tape, but anyway, this is what it looked like. You can see that pale version of that earliest sun still in there. I was bothered by this dark rectangle, so I went to work on that, blocked it off. Wanted to make it a little bit more interesting rather than just a dark blob. So I added a little blue, some polka dots, then some circles. And I was much happier with that, but I noticed I had one light value bar and one dark value bar strip right there. So I put that little dark mark in there to kind of break that little section up. And there you have it, my finished painting. Thank you for watching.